Nigerian Minister of Communication and Digital Economy says the country is on track for deployment for the fifth generation network after carrying out relevant research and consultation with stockholders. Minister Ibrahim Patani gave this assurance at a one-day investigative hearing on the present status of 5G network in Nigeria and its technological impact on Nigerian citizens. Meanwhile, President of the Senate, Hamad Lawal, who declared the public hearing open, said the essence of the hearing, therefore, is to investigate how the 5G technology will ensure development of telecommunication services to people to enable them stand on a better knowledge pedestal ahead of the deployment of the technology.
The essence of this hearing, therefore, is to investigate how the 5G technology would ensure the deployment of telecommunication services to our people and to enable us stand on a better knowledge pedestal ahead of the possible deployment of the technology in Nigeria. Equally important to us as a Senate and indeed as a Parliament is that we only approve of this technology if the security and safety of our citizens are guaranteed. We are not going to be motivated by making money out of it. How secured and safe will our country and people be?
Internet of Things, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, and the likes. However, just as the proponents of the 5G claim that the network of the best things that has happened in the global telecom world, there have also been widespread reactions against its deployment, especially as it borders on its probable negative health effects on humans. Claims and counterclaims have emerged on the possibility of the technology causing injury to human health. As a result, there were protests in various nations of the world, including Nigeria, and in some instances, violent demonstrations. The concern raised include increased cancer risk, cause of COVID-19, cellular stress, neurological disorders, and negative impacts on general well-being in humans. These and other considerations bordering on human health necessitated the Senate in fulfilling its constitutional responsibility and obligations to mandate its four-standing committees, as mentioned earlier, to thoroughly investigate the status of 5G network in Nigeria and its technological impact on Nigerian citizens. However, the Joint Committee could not immediately organize a public hearing due to the prevalence of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country.
Minister of Communication and Digital Economy said, based on research carried out with the collaboration of the relevant stakeholder, a draft national policy framework is being processed to be forwarded to Federal Executive Council for approval, as this will pave way for the deployment of the 5G network.
The federal government will not do anything that will compromise the security or health of our citizens. It is in order to demonstrate that is why we have been coming up with so many policies that is improving the security, including NIN and SIM verification. The policy has been in place for over 10 years, but there wasn't any time that the policy is enforced but now. And this is part of the guidance of President Muhammad Buhari to the sector, and this is what we have been doing. So now, Nigeria is ready for 5G. I would say, based on what we have been doing, as long as we address the major challenges, then definitely we are almost ready. What we only need to do is to ensure that the process is completed. Secondly, whether it has any negative impact on our citizens. When it comes to health issues, our investigation here in Nigeria did not show any negative impact. There is no any relationship between 5G and any disease. The only issue being raised usually by people is about radiation. But people fail to realize that the radiation of 4G that we are all using here is more harmful than that of the 5G. That of 4G. The radiation of 4G I am using it here, and almost everybody has his phone here. That 4G on your phone is more harmful than the 5G we are anticipating.
The Office of National Security Advisor, however, have some security concerns.
National security concerns. We are aware, talking about national security concerns and position views of scientists and medical experts as well. Now, we are aware that the deployment of 5G will come with different type of equipment and all that. And so we understand that the stakeholders in the telecommunication industry will make effort to ensure that they upgrade their systems in order to meet up the new technology. But we are concerned about the deliberate vulnerabilities and backdoors within the 5G network equipment. That's one of the key concerns we have. This will make the infrastructure highly susceptible to eavesdropping, tracking, cyber attacks, military-industrial espionage, and other malicious activities by foreign actors.
The minister allayed the fear of both NSA and Nigerians that the 5G technology is safe, has no health implication, and only certified equipment will be approved for use. The honor now lies with the Nigerian Communication Commission to sensitize Nigerians on the opportunities of 5G network offer, as well as provide regulatory framework to guide its implementation in the country. The Nigerian Senate has screened and confirmed the appointment of Abdulrasheed Bawar as the substantive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC. Bawar was confirmed on Wednesday at an opening screening on the floor of the Senate by lawmakers. In his opening remark, Bawar said his primary aim, among others, is to repatriate all stolen assets back to the country.
I'm not unmindful of the enormous responsibility before me and my colleagues, but I believe we are up to the task. And I also believe that we will not fix the blame of the past. We will accept our own responsibility for the future. The fear of God, national interest, patriotism in us, and the fact that we are young men, the future of this country is with us, are the driving force that will ensure that come what may, at the end of my tenure, I will leave the EFCC a better place. And to our strategic partners around the world, particularly in the United States of America, United Kingdom, South Africa, etc., I intend to work with them closely, sharing information and intelligence in order to attain our mutual objectives as well as our independent objectives as well. But paramount of which is close to my heart is the fact that we need to repatriate all our stolen assets for the benefit and the betterment of all Nigerians here at home.
Responding to the Senator Adamu's Alero question on the controversial sales of seized assets to proceed during his time as zonal head of the agency in Port Harcourt, Bawar said the allegations were untrue.
Mr. President, since we are limited to only one question, the only question I will ask is that there is allegation in the press and particularly in the social media that the seized and forfeited assets at Port Harcourt were not properly disposed of. And I want your response on this so that the Senate, Nigerians, and indeed the international community will know truly what happened. Mr. President, as I said earlier, we have a good product. We want him to tell Nigerians how we intend to restructure the EFCC, and we really want him to answer as many questions as possible. We don't want that situation where we will tell the nominee, take a more and go. No. This one is a nomination like no other.
As a teacher, I can attest to the eloquence and the power of articulation of Mr. Bauer. Yet, there are a few issues that have been trending in the public domain in recent times with respect to EFCC that requires some clarifications, and of course, to which your answer may be a benchmark even for yourself as you journey on and you leave office, be able to say if you have done well. And one of such issues, Mr. Bauer, is the issue of asset forfeiture, management, and disposal. When confirmed as chairman, how do you intend to navigate and tackle this thorny issue in order that the EFCC does not run into trouble with the public?
According to him, such power only rests with the Secretary of the EFCC, Mohammed Abba. He explained that the current and acting chairman, who was secretary at the time of the sales, supervised the process along with other officials of the commission from Abuja.
Anybody that is familiar with the processes and workings of the EFCC knows that even the executive chairman of the EFCC doesn't have the powers to dispose a single asset. That responsibility lies with the office of the secretary of the commission. I'm saying this, I'm starting from that end to confirm to Nigerians and indeed this chamber that I, as zonal head of the EFCC, never for once sold a single asset in Port Harcourt. I never did. The then secretary of the commission, together with 3 directors and other staff from the headquarters, flew into Port Harcourt and disposed of the trucks and other assets in them that were forfeited to the federal government of Nigeria. Sequel to our own singular effort as part of the reformation that I brought to the Port Harcourt Zonal Office. Let me put it on record, Mr. President, distinguished senators, that when I took over the Port Harcourt Zonal Office in January 2019, the year before, the Zonal Office recorded only 33 convictions. But because of the way we transformed the Zonal Office, we recorded an unprecedented 216 convictions within a year. 216 convictions. We never sold anything in Port Harcourt Zonal Office. It was the head office that did everything. We don't know how the payments were made. We don't know who buy. We don't know who lost out in the auction, etc., etc. That is for the record. And besides, the single senators, assuming we even did that, the EFCC could have been the first to punish me. They could have investigated me. They could have even prosecuted me. But the then director of operations, who was our director of operations, who happens to be the acting chairman of the commission as at now, was the one that even posted me to Lagos to head. Assuming I have something or skeletal or something bad that I did, he couldn't have been thinking of giving me higher responsibility to manage the biggest operational base in the EFCC.
The Senate, after 2-hour action at the plenary, confirmed the appointment of Mr. Abdulrasheed Bauer as the chairman of the Economic and Financial Commission.
Confirmation. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Abdulrasheed Bauer as chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Abdulrasheed Bauer is hereby confirmed as chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Congratulations.
Former Chief of Defense Staff Abayomi Olorunsaki said Nigeria's next warfare and crisis will be in the forest. The retired military general who resigned as a Chief of Defense Staff last January after 6 years of service in the top role made the remark while being screened at the National Assembly for an ambassadorial position. Members of the committee particularly asked why the service chief failed to resolve the country's insecurity problem.
What is the problem? What is it that cannot be solved? You were Chief of Army Staff for 66 months. What is the problem? What do you think is the solution? That's one. Number two, from what we got through the social media, the media, conventional media, that you resigned. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to clear the air. Said you resigned. That was the feelers we got. Did you resign or you were retired?
According to Olorunsaki, a research he conducted on forests 3 years ago showed that Nigeria has over 1,000 forest reserves, and there's an urgent need to man and protect the forests, which have become hideouts for criminals. According to a 1992 World Bank report, Nigerian forest reserves cover 10% of the country's total land area.
One, you're looking at what are the issues that we need to look at to address the insecurity that we are facing. I must say the solution is multi-pronged, because we talk about conventional warfare, we talk about asymmetric warfare, we are talking about hybrid warfare, where everyone is involved. It is not about kinetics. Kinetics gives only 35% successes of any war we are fighting. It is a national approach that must be properly galvanized for us to actually mount the insecurity. I will say, 3 years ago, I conducted a research on the forest in the country. I realized we have over 1,000 forest reserves. I sent the team to Kenya. They went to Kenya and brought out a paper, and I said then 3 years ago that our next crisis will be in the forest. Some governors were invited. We told them, because most of the forests are the prerogative of states. The states took over all the forest reserve. And I said too, we had to protect the forest. We had to send things to the forest to protect the forest. This 3 years ago, 2018, we did a research, and for 6 months, we did it that apart from what we're facing in the northeast, the next problem we're going to have is the forest.
Also, immediate past Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Brutai, said there are many ungovernable spaces in Nigeria, leading to widespread insecurity. Brutai lamented that terrorists have penetrated the Nigerian society and want several communities to their side. He said the situation requires a multi-pronged approach, and military welfare alone is not the solution.
There should be hospitals, schools, all over. But I tell you now, yesterday I was counting 5 local governments in Borno State cannot have do not have good access roads to those locations. I'm not indicting anybody. That's the truth. You know, you can't have access since independence up to now. Where do you get the solution? The same thing in the northwest, Niger State, Zamfara. Niger is north central, where we have this incident now of kidnapping. The same thing in Zamfara, in Katsina and Sokoto. There are so many ungovernable spaces. Until those things are penetrated, those locations are penetrated with road infrastructure, with rail, with amenities in terms of hospitals, schools, and so on, then we carry everybody along. And education is very fundamental, you know. And unless these things are done, you know, we will make, despite the diplomatic efforts, internally we must get it right. And that is the essence of this diplomacy, foreign policy. It's a projection of domestic policy. So if you are able to domicile or, you know, curtail these things internally, that's why you project to other countries. And all our neighboring countries will be able, you know, to have a very, you know, robust defense as well as foreign policy action that will lead to the eradication of all this insecurity in the region. quite passionate about it, and these are the realities, and the truth must be told, because this thing cannot end. I predicted sometimes that it may take another 20 years, and that is the truth.
However, all the service chiefs are screening a pledge to continue working to ensure all identified internal factors that have led to Nigerian insecurity problem are addressed. The Nigerian Senate has emphasized the need to find the most effective ways to protect the nation's economic and promote the citizen drive for benefit from financial opportunity through technology. Senate Chairman Joint Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, ICT and Cybercrime and Capital Market, Ubasani gave the indication at the interactive meeting on the CBN decision to stop financial institutions from transacting in cryptocurrency and matter arising therefrom it. According to him, the Senate, in spite of the support for effective use of information technology for economic empowerment, also expressed concern over the damage unregulated financial transaction has done to the country's economy.
Cryptocurrency transaction is a high-risk endeavor, and it is a convenient avenue for money laundering to support terrorism and insurgency. CBN is uncomfortable with the unregulated and secret nature of the cryptocurrency transactions and fears that it will damage Nigeria's heavily challenged economy if not checked. The Senate will always support the legitimate drive of our people, especially the youth, toward economic empowerment. We support innovation and the effective use of information technology for economic empowerment. At the same time, we are conscious of the damage unregulated financial transactions have done to national economies. We must therefore find the most effective way to protect our economy and promote our people's drive to benefit from financial opportunities through technology. This interactive meeting will provide an opportunity for all stakeholders to air their views on the issues in contention. The interactive interaction will help to shed more light on cryptocurrency, its mode of operation, links to our banking and financial system, as well as threats to our national security due to its secret and unregulated nature.
The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, lamented that Nigeria has been ranked the second in the world in the use of the cryptocurrency as a tool to promote terrorism and crime, maintained that the decision to stop it is in the best interest of Nigerians.
We know that cryptos or bitcoins have been used to facilitate scam, which we all popularly call 419 transactions. They have been known to facilitate money laundering. They have been known to be an avenue through which kidnappers receive ransom, and they have been known to be instruments that are used to finance terrorism, not just in Nigeria, but in different parts of the world where these have thrived. And that's why we sometimes wonder, from data available, that Nigeria comes second in the world. And most of us are applauding the fact that Nigeria comes second in the world in the use of a tool that is used to facilitate scam and 419. We come second in the world in the use of tools that are used to finance money laundering. We come second in the world in the use of a tool that finances terrorism. Our business is not a popularity contest. Our business is to protect the uninformed.
May be recorded that the Senate in the sitting on Thursday, February 11, 2021, spent reasonable time on the motion on CBN decision to stop financial institutions from transacting in cryptocurrency and the matter arising therefrom. At the end of the debate, the Senate mandated the Joint Committee on Banking, Insurance, Other Financial Institutions, ICT and Cybercrime and Capital Market to invite the Central Bank of Nigeria, Security Exchange Commission, and other stakeholders to brief the committee on the opportunity and the threat of cryptocurrency on the nation's economic and security.